My name is Chris Kern, and I am a student film major at the university, and I was the production manager for this project, The Messenger. My job as production manager started back in last spring, and when the notice came out that they were going to start this film theater project, and it looked interesting, and I just started out just early on, just doing the basic stuff that productions you do, the set breakdowns and all that good stuff, and it was pretty small at first. And we went during the summer. We went, and our first set was down at the parking garage, and it went pretty smooth. And then it just kind of steamrolled, and it was very educational. That is, working with the student crew and being a student myself is challenging because of the schedule. I really think that was probably the biggest challenge, getting the same consistency from set to set. I think being spread out like we were from the spring all the way up until this fall, actually almost this winter, when we wrap, getting this consistency and the same people there in the same job every time was a challenge. Like, we'd have different sound people sometimes, we'd have different camera people sometimes, people throwing lights. I mean, that was probably getting consistency, but with the core group that we had, we pulled it off. And then the students that came to help when they could, because they had classes to go to, were also, they were a big help, and they were more than willing just to tell them what to do, and they were jumping. It worked great. Well, being a production manager, I didn't do a whole lot with equipment other than just throwing lights and wrangling, during the scene, sets, shoots. Towards the last scene when we went here in the theater, I was actually able to get on a camera and help set up the jib, and so as far as a favorite part, I really didn't get to work like some of the students did with a particular camera or a particular piece of equipment, because I was always running around. But I had a good time shooting, filming. Those last 4 or 5 days we shot were pretty fun. My son Nicholas is in this Let's Make a Movie class, and he came and started working on it quite a bit, and it was pretty fun. It was something that not every parent gets to do with their kid. I enjoyed it. We had a good time. When we went off campus, the biggest part of it was just getting this location set up. We had three major locations. One was fairly easy. One was at Carrie's place, so that was pretty much set up itself. The biggest part about that was making sure it was clean when we left and we didn't break anything. We had the parking garage, was the first scene in downtown. That was the last spring, and it went well. It was the first scene, but it was also the challenging part about that was technically, that was the attack scene, so it had its own little nuances there, getting people through that. And then the final at the church, it went pretty smooth. It was a pretty small set that day, small crew, and we went in and got it knocked out, so it went well. And then there was 9/11. Big call for extras. It was kind of funny because we didn't get as many as we thought, so we had to manipulate people to make it look crowded. And I'm sure we pulled it off once the final edit's done and we see it. I'm sure we'll be happy with it. It must have looked real because at one point, right after we first started shooting, bystander, we had all 2nd Avenue blocked off, and a bystander came to the, kind of a rough-looking guy, came to the edge of the barricade there, and he actually thought we were really protesting 9/11. Or something, because we actually had to shoot it at 9/11 so we could block the street off. And at the time, I don't think Professor Mendelowitz realized what day it was and what emotions might be around that day. But once he saw that, we're just doing a movie and this is a movie set, so it must have looked real. So I think we might have pulled that one off. I use this experience a lot. This is gonna go a long ways with me.